Everybody deserves a second chance, even video games. Welcome to the Second Opinion Podcast, where the reviews aren't always right, but we are. We're here to give you the gaming takes you didn't know you needed. We've been deep in the gaming world for 17 plus years, covering all the news, releases, and drama in the gaming world, and having a damn good time while doing it. Just because some website gave a game a low score doesn't mean it's a fail in our book. We're all about giving games that second chance, diving back in where others quit. And we should probably tell you that we're real and we're very loud and opinionated, and 90% of the time we're completely off topic. But that's why you'll love us. This is your Second Opinion. Now, here are your hosts, Toaster, Soleb, and Bolts.
Hey everybody, what is going on? It is your friend Toaster McGee, and you are listening to episode 390 of the Second Opinion Podcast. I am joined by my amazing other host, co-host. I don't know how you say like other host. I wanted to switch things up tonight, so I am running the show.
Yeah.
For better or for worse. But yeah, I am joined by my partner in crime, my bestest bud, my bearded brother, Soleb. Hey, buddy, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Nothing much.
How's your week been?
Migraines are, I don't know.
There's
what
something.
you compare them to. They suck.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah, they're definitely an interesting thing. But yeah, so it's episode 390. And as usual, we're going to start off with what have you been gaming? So, Celeb, what have you been getting yourself into?
Bro, I have been playing nothing but Marvel Rivals. I have become re-obsessed with the game. I don't know why, but I just have really, really become obsessed with it. I've been playing a lot as Thor, Wolverine, and the Punisher. Yes, and then I just re-downloaded. I was playing Ghost of Yotai, but then I just re-downloaded Spider-Man 2. So me and Dante have been kind of playing that. Like I'll play some for a little bit, and then he'll play a little bit, and he's finally kind of understanding the more like complex games. And the other day when I was playing it, there was like scenes happening. I look over there, and he's like, I said, "Are you enjoying the scenes?" And he was like, "This is like a movie." And I said, "That's what's great about gaming, son, is it's like a movie, but it's like right up in your face."
And I mean, Insomniac did such a great job with those two titles. Like all three of them, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and then Spider-Man 2. They're just, I can't wait to see what they do with Wolverine.
Dude, I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, the gameplay footage we've seen so far looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be really, really awesome. So, like in playing Spider-Man 2, the seamlessness of the gameplay, like when you switch from Peter Parker to Miles Morales and come up on a group of villains, and just like the combat is like so Batman Arkham City-esque. Like it just flows perfectly. And then of course just the obsession of making sure you have every suit unlocked. You find as much as you possibly can. I think the only reason why I didn't like finish it off or top it off is like I have the game at 97% completion, and there's like 2 more things I have to do before I platinum the game. And I was like, okay, I've put a lot of time into it. I gotta stop for a bit. So, but it's just so good. It's so good, and seeing my son interact with it is even better, man. So,
I need to pick those games back up because I mean, I stopped because I'm waiting for the inevitable Insomniac Spider-Man gut punch. I mean, because like the Spider-Man Miles Morales, you end up fighting your best friend. The original Spider-Man, like Aunt May dies, and you come to find out she knew you were Spider-Man the whole time.
Oh, man.
And yeah, it was just, and like it's so beautifully animated and so amazingly, voice acted that you're like sobbing on your couch, like. Whoa. So
The only thing that threw me off was when they switched Peter Parker's face. And they were like, I feel like this is going to be a really great game for us, and it launches and it does really good, and then like I can't remember how long it was. I think it was like a year.
It was. I think they switched his face out in the remaster for the PS5.
Yes, and they were like, I think the face for the character was more in line of what the actual voice actor looks like, or something like that. I don't know.
I can't remember the reason why.
But I was like, what the heck? Like, what is happening? So I don't know, man. But what have you been gaming? What have you been playing?
So lately I've been playing Enshrouded with my wife. She has been trying to get me to play Valheim, but I'm not a big Valheim guy. Enshrouded is a lot more fun. Like she's amazing at building stuff. Like it blows my mind when she's like, "Oh, look at my house," and I walk in and it's like a freaking Beverly Hills, mansion. It's got like a basement, like sliding doors everywhere. It's all fully decorated. And then you come over to my world and there's like a shack with like a cot. Like the survivors that you find are sitting there huddled under a shed, like, this is the shelter we got. It's the same way in Fallout 4. Like, you go to any of my settlements, they have what they need. They got beds and they got roofs over their heads. You go to one of my wife's settlements, there's a bar. She's got a fucking shopping mall set up. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was funny. She got really into Fallout 4, and she was doing all of the companion quests, and she's like, what did you do this one? I'm like, no. She's like, I thought you beat the game. I was like, yeah, I did. It was me and the dog. I'm the lone wanderer.
Oh my god.
She's like,
I thought you beat the game. You're like,
because they should be able to fend for themselves, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
Like, yeah. But
that is hilarious, bro. Especially when you just said that. Like, I thought you beat the game. I swear that's exactly how Dara said. Like, she brought up something about God of War Ragnarok one day, and she was like, which way did you go on this? And I was like, I can't remember. And she's like, didn't you beat the game? I'm like, yes, I beat the game. What are you talking about?
You questioned my gamer accolades.
Yeah, right? You should know.
Yeah, of course I beat the game. Did you hear where there's supposedly the rumor is he's going to Egypt next?
Dude, listen, I'll lose it.
Which I guess is like a return to like the Bridge comic from where he left Greece and showed up in Norway, I guess. But I was like reading an article because they were talking about like, well, how would you why would Kratos care about the Egyptian gods? Like, send Kurt Russell. That was a Stargate reference for any of you whose joke that just flew over your heads. Caleb, did you just freeze up? I think Caleb just froze up. So, hey, I'm running the show right now. So, yeah, anyway, so supposedly the whole idea is that the Greek pantheon comes at the Egyptian pantheon, except under the guise of the Roman deities, Saturn, Jupiter, those folks.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. It dropped me. Toaster's like, it's my show now. I'm the host.
Look at me. I'm the host.
I'm the captain now. Oh my god!
Did you catch my Stargate joke?
I did not. I'm sorry.
I was like, why are you sending Kratos over to deal with the Egyptian gods? Just call Kurt Russell.
Right.
But yeah, no. So it turns out, I guess, from what I was reading, there was a comic that took place between the events of the Ghost of Sparta in Greece, and then how he came to Norway. And this article I was reading was saying how you could get him involved, because like, really, why does Kratos care about the Egyptian gods? Like, they're doing their own thing. And somebody was like, well, you could have them be under attack by another pantheon, and it turns out Old Man Withers is actually Zeus in disguise as Jupiter or whatever,
right,
like with the Roman pantheon. So that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
And I mean, as long as they stick to that formula that they've got with, God of War and then Ragnarok, those are great games. Not taking away anything from the, the first titles that came out, but it was nice to see like a grizzled, mature, Kratos. And I don't know, he's just like, I mean, he felt brutal in the first couple of games, but when he like loses it in God of War and God of War Ragnarok, it's like a whole new level of like, I'm gonna rip your throat out and show you what it looks like.
I feel like it's like two different angers. It shows two different sides of anger because in in between two and in between God of War 2 and God of War 3, we saw Kratos featured as more of like the rage monster. You know, like 2, he was kind of tilting that way. Like he's already had his arrogance, but then the rage started just like infesting his body. To where when 3 comes around, you see, like, listen, I will still say to this day, some of the best scenes in the history of God of War were from God of War 3, especially God of War 3 Remastered. When we saw that high definition of Kratos looking at Zeus, and he's like, hello, Father, I have returned. And I was like, I just remembered, like, oh my God, he's about to. And when he kills Poseidon, it's so brutal. And even like Icarus, like everybody, it's just brutality and rage. So when we get to 3, of course, he's thinking of all these horrible past doings, but like he knows that when you see that moment of his rage kind of come out, even though it is rage, it's more kind of like anger of like a father having to do what he needs to do to protect his child.
And it's like the anger of like the old hitman who was like, I was finally settled down, I was finally relaxed, I was retired, and now you've done pissed me off.
This is the origins of John Wick. He was Kratos first.
But I think the kicker with like God of War and Ragnarok is like they pick a fight with him really for no reason. Like Baldur shows up and he's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And Kratos is like, who? What?
Why?
What? I was gonna just read my newspaper, you young asshole.
Yeah, bro. Leave me be, please.
But as God of War fans, Soleb and I could probably talk about it for the rest of the show. But we do have some interesting and some disturbing shit to talk about on today's episode.
We do.
So you know what? We're going to go ahead and get the disturbed shit out of the way. Because how I've survived our current environment, we'll say, has been sarcasm and dark humor. Yeah. So here we go. Turns out, unsurprisingly to anyone who was paying attention, Epstein got banned by Xbox Live for life. Which, I mean, this is the thing that kind of pisses me off about this whole thing, you know, and this all goes back to Gamergate. And if you will follow my thread, you will understand why. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Gamergate, and I'm probably going to get in a little bit of trouble for saying it the way I do, but this is how I interpret it. It all started because 2 people didn't know how to act like adults. Yeah. There was a game that came out called Depression Quest that got really good reviews because it was like really one of the first indie video games to like really deal with mental health. And, you know, gaming for me and for a lot of people I know is their mental health padding or, you know, booster or whatever. You know, the friends you make and the games that you play, you know, they become your family. So, you know, it was nice to see that mental health was brought into, you know, the gaming forelight, and the game got great reviews. There was some shit that happened that I won't go into that, you know, one person accused another person of doing some things, and then it turned into, you know, well, maybe those things that the other person did led to the good reviews, and there was this whole shitstorm. And then the doxing started and blah, 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 blah. And that turned into a whole, like, 4chan bullshit, and just, it turned stupid. And all of a sudden, my safe little world of gaming was now getting poked and prodded by politics.
Yep.
And, you know, the biggest thing about gaming is it's a community. You know, those of us that truly sit down and enjoy these video games, we enjoy them with friends over the internet. We enjoy them with our loved ones on a couch. You know, we geek out like, I don't know. I mean, me getting the opportunity to talk to Cliffy B at a PAX and not talk about Gears of War, but sit there and talk to each other like two massive, like just about Mass Effect. You know, he wasn't the guy that created Gears of War in that moment. He was a friend and we were both geeking out about something we truly enjoyed.
Yeah.
And that is what the gaming community should be, instead of this divisive bullshit. And then, come to find out, fucking scumbag numero uno, not only was he banned from Xbox Live, but apparently he was speaking to somebody over emails whose name rhymes with Froby Botek. And there was a whole conversation about indoctrinating children into the economy by introducing microtransactions into video games. Oddly enough, this conversation took place right about the time that Call of Duty 2 was released.
Right before they introduced microtransactions.
Right before they introduced microtransactions. And you know what? We talked about microtransactions in the past. And if you go back to some of our earlier episodes, you would probably hear me getting on my soapbox and being like, microtransactions are bad. However, I do enjoy a good transmog. It's got to be, and honestly, like Destiny 2 got me with the whole Renegades thing when they're like, you can make your hunter look like Boba Fett. I was like, really?
No way.
And then, Blizzard does it with their pets and stuff. And sometimes they do, donations to charity and things like that. But, this whole microtransaction bullshit, like, what do you think of this, Celeb? Like, are you surprised, first of all, that a certain person who ran a certain video game company's name showed up in the list?
I'm not. I'm not surprised either to see the other person that is named, headlines this list had ideology of microtransactions, especially since there's so much information that many people have tried to say that person also was one of the lead guys in creating like Bitcoin and the demand for Bitcoin and all this crazy stuff. So it's a wild thing, bro. It's really a wild thing. It is. I know it's taken time for things to change, and that doesn't just come with that doesn't just come with the games industry, but that comes with like everyone, like me, people across the world. As we've grown, we've tried to change over time. And not to be very political on the show today, but there have been times that even me having a very different opinion than my own family members over the last few years. And when it comes down to seeing this bleed into an industry that I really focus a lot of time into to get away from the stress of the normal world, and it bleeds into it and see it, it's disheartening to see. But at the same time, it's like, how do we not expect this?
Yeah.
So the way I look at it is positivity prevails. And we've got to understand that one person that was involved in those conversations with this horrible person no longer really is in the games industry. So we can hope that this doesn't continue. But it is a thing for sure. Whenever, like Toaster said earlier, the best way of saying what it said is, they wanted to introduce it to indoctrinate children into the economic system. That's some creepy cult shit, so that's just crazy, bro. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
Like the idea of that dude creeping in a lobby, like, oh man. Like,
I saw this video. This guy was like, so you're telling me when I was playing Call of Duty back in the day, there was a very big possibility that at random I could have been in a game with this person? And they're like, yes, very big possibility.
like, you just want to go back to the bathroom and just eyeball bleach. Like, no.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
It is awful. And it sucks, like the whole microtransaction thing too, because it's like, the one thing that we lose ourselves in these games that we play, and then you get wrapped up in the fantasy of the action game you're playing, and the love and the warmth of the communities and stuff like that, and we're all having a great time, and then all of a sudden news like this drops, and you see like the fucking $ underside of the gaming industry. And it's like, that reminder that there's people running these industries that don't really connect with the fans and stuff like that, and it's all just numbers and dollar signs to them, and they don't understand that you're screwing with something that made somebody really, really happy. Like Activision, with World of Warcraft, the big changes that are coming with Midnight and already that got launched with the pre-patch. Like, I've seen friends of mine that have played the game for years going, man, I don't recognize my class anymore. There are some people that are very, very upset of, the major class changes that took place and things like that. And it's, it's disheartening when, these business decisions are made and like, I don't know where I'm going with this. It just sucks.
No, I mean, it does. Yeah, it really does. So it's confusing.
We'll end this segment on a God damn it, Epstein.
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck out of my games, dude. So yeah, leading into Azeroth, they did have some big news today, or a couple of days ago, with the state of Azeroth, which laid out the roadmap for what Blizzard is planning with after the launch of the new Midnight expansion coming out. The big thing that they started including was housing. I personally have played around with it a little bit. I got myself a nice little beachside bungalow, pristine waterfront property.
That's right.
In Revelry Row. It's really, for those of you that are not big, like, I'm going to build something, it's like literally you put the house down and you start pinning stuff to, it's super easy. They snap you into it. I just want Blizzard's CGI team to make a goddamn video game.
Right?
Like, every single game they've released, they're like, even going as far back as the original Diablo, the cinematics on every Blizzard game are fucking amazing. And this is hilarious. Because my predictions were true. Raid bosses, dungeon bosses, drop furniture. You're going to be in a 20-minute raid boss fight, and you're going to roll need on a recliner because it matches your walls.
So you are excited about this?
I kind of am. I'm excited about it because it's, honestly, like, once you reach level cap previously in these titles and you were done doing the end game, all there was to do was really to stand around your capital city on your mount looking superior to all the lobby players.
Yeah.
And I don't mean lobby players as an insult. I mean anybody who's like under like level whatever. But yeah, that was pretty much it. You signed on and you just kind of stood there. You maybe ran some weeklies or whatever. This gives you another outlet to do, and it allows you to decorate your character's home space with your taste.
Yeah.
And it's and the other reason I'm excited for it is because there's a chance that it'll get my wife to play World of Warcraft.
Right.
And I really want to see her tank. But
it's something I've thought about forever.
But they're turning this into an esport apparently from, the sounds of it. Like, they're getting some of the world's like top content creators in like design and stuff like that. Like these people that have built these like crazy fortresses in like Valheim or V Rising or, possibly even my wife with the mansions she builds in Enshrouded. But, I think it's an exciting new thing. And so far the experience has been really nice. It hasn't been challenging to do. You find yourself somehow amassing furniture, even though you're not really trying. And I've had a couple of surprises where it was like, oh, look, an ottoman dropped. So.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. I left that up there.
But,
damn ottomans.
The one thing I'm really excited about, but this won't be coming out until autumn of this year, is they're introducing something called Labyrinths. Now, currently they have delves, which are basically solo dungeons. You can go in there, you can set Bran, fuck that guy, as a healer or tank or DPS. I seriously hate that guy. But they were short. Like, once you got geared, you could just rip through these things and be, perfectly fine. And they were awesome for people that have, like, people like me who have had some really bad experiences with pug groups in the past, this was an alternative way for me to get geared to be able to help my guild run raids.
Yeah.
So labyrinths are their play on a massive multi-wing delve. In the past expansions, we've always gotten these multi-wing dungeons, which are kind of like a callback to the original WoW when you had these huge raid runs and that took hours.
Yeah.
The biggest one was Tazavesh. It was split into two. You had the Market and you had Solea's Gambit. And I mean, even in Classic, you had Dire Maul and stuff like that, these huge multi-wing dungeons. And I am extremely excited to see Labyrinth and see them actually really do something more for the delving community. It's interesting. You work your way up through tiers. They get more challenging as you go, and you get like the delve bosses that you need to take out. And they even added like a little bit of a Dark Souls thing where if you are a character and you get taken out by a mob in the delve, it puts a little grave marker on there. It tells like your character name and what killed you. And so they're also introducing a prey system, which allows you to kind of go on hunts, for a target, which I think I'm going to have a blast with, considering I play main an assassination rogue. I feel like that's right up my character's alley. I'm really looking forward to it.
It seems like it's going to be a really big expansion.
Yes and no. You're going to have the first area, that gets released with the X-Pack. But really, if you sit there and play for a few days, you can burn through the story really quick. And then it just turns more into, getting ready to run the end game stuff with the raids. How they have expanded it is they have introduced seasons, which kind of continue the story as you go, and you get another raid, and then as the expansion closes up, you get the final raid, and you close up the final chapter until the next expansion comes out. This is going to be the second of a 3-part Soul Saga series that Chris Metzen talked about at Blizzard.
Oh yeah.
So and another big thing that that he said is you understand the fan base of WoW. They're adults now. They're not kids. Everybody's got families, jobs, and stuff like that, and they just don't have the grind time that they used to have. Which is something Metzen hinted at when he was like, we understand that, not everybody has the time to dump into this. And that was the introduction of war bands, which I think was a huge improvement on WoW. It allowed your characters to share your rep pool, and, you could get one character to max rep with a faction. So your new character could buy, comparable gear to at least get you into the early raids and stuff. Yeah. So, I am excited. I am a little disappointed. The character changes for some of the classes have been very extreme. There has been a bit of a learning curve for those of us that became dependent on the modding community. Things like deadly boss mods, weak auras, stuff like that doesn't work anymore. So you're having to like relearn fights and relearn triggers, especially in like boss battles that might have a tank swap where you have to taunt, the boss off of the other tank. Those of us that had that DBM would hear, taunt boss now. Now you actually have to watch the animations and like listen for the audio cues that are built into WoW. I am hoping that some of that kind of they open the bag a little bit. I feel like them ripping the Band-Aid off the way they did was just rough. And I think a lot of people are still trying to come to terms with that, which is why a lot of people are kind of upset and they're like, I don't recognize the game. So I'm hoping, somewhere down the road that community feedback, they'll be like, okay, let's find a happy medium. So.
Yeah. And that's understandable. I mean, with MMOs in general, you always have to have that happy medium because there's so many players that they pour their life into these games, and that's to see a quality of life change. That's something that's something that they really focus on a continuous basis can at times be a detrimental change to that gamer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's, but I've never, you've tried to get me into,
I try to get everybody in a while, really. Cause
really
I need
try.
a healer.
I need to send you all these WoW books that I have. Whenever I worked at GameStop, I like when the collector's editions would like go on discount or something like that, I'd be able to get them for like $10. Nice. So I have all these collector's edition like WoW books from what's the one? What's the season with the pandas?
Oh, Miss Pandaria.
Yeah, so I have like a Mist of Pandaria collector's book, and I have all these. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 expansions that I got.
Nice.
But over time, I ended up losing the boxes, which I
have a couple of them too. From when Scully and I did the unboxing of motherfucking pandas.
Motherfucking pandas. So not to bump in on the hosting of it, Toaster. First and foremost, I want to say that was brilliantly laid out. Guildmaster Toaster. I mean, that was fucking amazing. The information that you gave me just from that bit on news, I was like, man, do I want to play WoW? Like, if WoW came to console, bro, I'd play it. Like,
oh, dude, tomorrow. That's happening. I mean, I'm on it. Like, I mean, you look at ESO. ESO's on Game Pass.
ESO's on Game Pass. Fallout 76 is like massive on Game Pass. I mean, I really hate saying this, but Amazon's recent MMO that I went and checked out, and all this is getting shut down. So pretty irritated at Amazon to hear that, especially after talking to the team members over there about how passionate they were of making this like a not really having a timeline, but they were like, we really wanted to like relaunch it on a console and then start building where we're at now, and to see them put so much time and effort into that to have it just ripped away is crazy. But we were going to talk about the PlayStation handheld, but I don't really think there's a reason for us to talk about that. It's like a new version of the PlayStation Portal. It's going to have like a better screen. I did want to quickly talk. We don't have much time left, but I did want to quickly talk about WWE 2K26 with its launch date and all that. So I'll take it on this one because I'm fucking.
If I was CM Punk, I would be a little pissed about my face. That face looks like if Edge and CM Punk had a baby.
The graphics are way better than what they used to be, okay?
I understand that, but so you need to put that picture up on the screen. Seriously, dude. Looks like Edge and fucking CM Punk had a baby.
This is shared from Game Informer.
Look at that. Look at that forehead.
It's pretty massive forehead.
It's like a 5 head.
But I'm going to scroll down on here. Please make sure to check out Marcus Stewart and the entire crew over at Game Informer. I'm so glad Game Informer is back. They're going to have a total of 400 superstars in this upcoming, which you can see. This is just some of the superstars that are going to be in there. They're going to have Andre the Giant.
There's Logan Paul in there. Get him the fuck out of there.
I know. I hate Logan. I was going to say Rogan Paul. Whatever. Both of them. Rogan Paul.
That is like the worst Chad ever.
Oh my God, bro. That would be horrible. Rogan Paul. Also, additionally, they're going to have former TNA World Champion and recent WWE signee. Say his name and he'll appear. Joe Hendries. I'm excited about that.
Dude, I fell down that fucking rabbit hole. Like, I don't even watch wrestling. Like, the last time I watched wrestling, John Cena was wearing bright pink trunks, for Christ's sakes. And then the first guy I started watching his intros is there's this dude, I think, on the independent wrestling circuit named Steven Flo.
Yeah.
And it's totally, his entrance music is Even Flow, but all the lyrics are replaced with Steven Flo. And that just cracked me up. And then all of a sudden I see like this Where's Waldo thing of like, say his name and he appears. Like,
I believe in Joe Hendry.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I started watching. The first time I watched all of it, I was laughing my ass off. He comes out of a trash can, the wall, like eyes just above the frosted part of a glass door. And like the dude ridiculous. Comes out and he's just like, and he kind of looks like my cousin.
And he turns.
Yeah, he kind of looks like one of my cousins, which makes it even funnier.
Well, as you can see, there's multiple. There's all kinds of stuff that was announced. The launch date, It's supposed to be coming out, I think, this coming March or May. I think March 13th is when the game comes out, which is crazy. That's just in 1 month, man. But there's a standard edition, a King of Kings edition, the Attitude Era edition, Monday Night War edition as well, which from what I've read, that's going to be a really big focus on the game. The island is back, which is the social hub, which I thought the island was okay. I thought it was kind of cool, but the my rise, my GM, and my faction is always really really cool to play. I got into my faction on 2025 a little bit more than what I did on 2024, and the card based stuff kind of just, I don't know. It's never really been something that I've been extremely into on any game. Madden, NBA, pretty much everything. I got the hiccups. I'm sorry.
It's been a minute since I played one of the WWE games, but I do remember when I played the one I played years ago. I literally spent like hours in the character creator.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like that's what I always end up doing. I spend way too much time in that. But the big thing is like with this edition, there's a possibility. They said maybe that this is going to happen. Said maybe stay tuned from what Visual Concept said. But Lucha Libre AAA, which was acquired by WWE, is supposed to be featured or possibly going to be featured in the game as well. I'd really like it if we also got a little bit of like a side showcase mode for the Attitude Era. I don't know if that's what they're doing with some of this, or they're like the Attitude Era version. Of course, comes with, let's see, the Attitude Era version comes with the King of Kings version, the Ringside Pass Premium Season 1 through 4, Attitude Era Pack. So it's going to be The Rock 1999, Kane 1998, China 1997, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake, the Rock People's Champ, all these different types of versions of these characters. And then in the Monday Night War Edition pack, it comes with Shawn Michaels DX, Macho Man Randy Savage from 1998, WCW Thunder 1998, Arena, Diamond Dallas Page, and many others. So the Attitude Era was just something really cool. It was so edgy and stuff at the time that it came out, and having so many different crazy characters like Kane, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, the whole McMahon saga, Kurt Angle, Lita,
the Dudley Boys,
the Hardys. And then when WWE purchased WCW and having the whole Monday Night Wars thing, that was just nuts, bro. It was really, really crazy. But I think it's a cool addition. And I think we only have like 2 minutes left, and I'll say this shortly, but Xbox isn't doing good. All right. They're not doing good. So that's really the best thing.
I mean, when you fire a shit ton of people and then close a studio that made a decent game,
yeah,
and like
it's
crazy
thrived
because of the console wars.
Yeah, and then to see Microsoft themselves come out as a, like, almost in the comic, kind of separating themselves in that entity or in that instant and saying, Xbox hardware revenues decreased 25%. We're not making any money. It says this quarter, the Microsoft Cloud surpassed 50 billion in revenue, up 26% year over year.
What did you think was going to happen when you rolled out Game Pass for PC?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, we had heard, several PAXs ago when they were releasing the original Xbox One.
Yep.
There was, talk among when they announced it and among the developers that it was built around the Windows kernel.
Yeah. And, I think you and me talked about this before, because, one thing that, like, Amy Hood, the CFO of Microsoft, she says here, in gaming, we are committed to delivering great games across Xbox, PC, and cloud and every other device. And we saw record PC players and paid streaming hours on Xbox. So what I'm trying to get across to everybody is, yeah, Microsoft is making money on gaming. They are. There's not a question about it. But what we're seeing is Microsoft is taking a shift, and they're shifting away from, I'm telling you, I really will believe this. I think they're going to come out with one more console. I think we will see one more Xbox.
Well,
it's going to be this Xbox.
Talked about that.
I know that. I know. I'm just saying in the sense
console
like
PC hybrid type thing.
I think this is going to be the last one. Like I think in the sense, I'm not saying that it's going to be the last physical hardware that they release, but what we think of as a console, this is going to be the last one in our ideology of like a box that we go and purchase and buy and whatever. I think over the next 10 years, we'll see a lot of these massive companies move to more, like, I don't even know, like this will be your Xbox.
Yeah.
Something that you just plug in to your TV and it upgrades the quality, of your streaming. But it is something strange to think about. I don't know. But Toaster, I don't know. I think we're kind of short on time. I don't know.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, the minute they announced the Chief was coming to PlayStation, that was it.
Bro.
Like, you're never going to hear Sony go, Kratos is coming to Xbox.
Mm-mm.
You'll hear Sony go, Kratos is coming to PC.
Yeah.
But the minute Microsoft was like, you know what? Master Chief is free. He can go on PlayStation 5. That was the flag. That was the...
I really thought it was going to be a drawn out process. Like it was going to come out on Xbox. And then, a couple of years after that, they're like, okay, now it's coming to PlayStation. But they were like, it's coming to PlayStation. Like instantly. They were like, just rip the Band-Aid off. Let it happen. So the good thing is that maybe we will have a little miniature console war yet again. Because if it launches on PlayStation and Xbox at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll have server versus server. Like, I would love that. I'd love to see hilarious. Xbox players versus PlayStation players, because then we could do a true, instead of red versus blue, we can do a green versus blue. So, just saying.
Speaking of red versus blue, if you are a fan, the entire series is now streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yes.
No.
It's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be our episode tonight, because I have promised my wife I will play some Enshrouded with her. So thanks for tuning in. This has been episode 390. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And remember,
I don't know what that was.
Stay away from creepers on Xbox Live.
Especially if they tell you that they can make a multi-trillion-dollar company. Say it. Especially if they say they're going to indoctrinate children into the economic system.
Yeah. Run away. Go and tell someone you trust.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Have a good night, everybody.